Well, hello Soulbridge family. Welcome to Soulbridge Holistics again. This is Julie, and I'm going to talk today about why people go sickly, why they get colds a lot, why they have digestive issues like IBS and diverticulitis, and what you can do about that. And today we're going to talk about the difference between the microbiome and your microbiota, and what that basically means is your microbiome. It's those bacteria that are all over the entire surface of your skin. Skin is a major organ. It's external and internal, so it includes your gut. It includes the surface of your skin. It includes every part of your body. You even have a microbiome inside your eyes, floating on the surface of your eyes, in your nose, every single orifice of your body, and inside your stomach and down your intestines. Okay, so we're going to talk about gut microbiota. You've probably heard of the term gut microbiota or microbiome, and wondered what they mean and why they matter. So they are partners. The microbiome provides constant input to build a robust, balanced immune system, and the immune system ensures that the microbiome stays beneficial and it maintains gut and systemic health. So, how it's a teacher. The food that you eat feeds certain bacteria. If those bacteria are complementary and they thrive, they act in unison with your body system and your health thrives. The microbiome act as crucial trainers, teaching the body to distinguish friend from foe. There is early development of the microbiota through childhood. In childhood, exposure to microbes helps mature immune cells like T cells, B cells, and macrophages establish tolerance to harmless substances. And then it's a constant educator after that. The microbiota constantly present microbial components like antigens and molecules, and the new microbes interact with your immune receptors and fine-tune their responses. That's why it's been said that 80% of your immune system is your microbiome, because it's training the cells in the rest of your body. Later in life, the microbiome acts as a regulator. It works collectively to keep the microbial balance in check through constant signaling and responses. Your microbiome can induce protective responses with specific microbes that trigger signals. They're called SCFAs. Don't ask me what that stands for. That activate immune cells to fight infections effectively without causing excessive damage. Keep that one in the back of your mind, because if you don't have an active microbiome and it can't defend you, then you do get damaged. So we want to do everything we can to protect the microbiome and find out what's killing it. Your microbiome is a defender for your immune system, preventing overreactions like allergies and autoimmunity. It helps fight pathogens. The immune system is B cells, T cells, macrophages. They respond in turn, forming a vital symbiotic partnership for overall health. This is symbiosis. It prevents overreaction. A diverse microbiome promotes healthy regulatory pathways, stopping the immune system from attacking the body, which would be autoimmunity, overreacting to food or environmental allergies, to food or environmental substances, in parentheses, allergies. Signs of a bad diet and microbiome damage would include premature gray hair or hair loss, premature wrinkling or sagging skin, skin tags and skin lesions, gas, bloating, pot belly, IBS, diverticulitis. All of these are pointing to problems with your gut microbiome being disrupted. If you're foggy-headed or sluggish or constipated, if you have constant colds, sickness, or even cancer. So, colonization resistance. The good microbes physically block pathogens from attacking the gut linings, and they compete for nutrients. So the goal is to get more positive microbiota than negative. We're talking bacteria, okay? So we want more good bacteria than bad bacteria, and that's how we keep your gut in symbiosis. Your gut microbiome directly stimulates immune cells. Here's some more that they mentioned: NKT cells and DCs. Don't know what those are, but they're part of the immune cells, to produce antiviral and antibacterial defenses. So there's no medicine that you can take to knock out a virus. Your body does it itself. So they prepare for invaders, and this is why healthy people never get sick. Now we're going to talk about things that disrupt your microbiome, and that's called dysbiosis, or dis-ease, dis-ease, when your body is not balanced, and what causes that. So when the microbiome is imbalanced, which is dysbiosis, it creates chronic inflammation, allergies, autoimmune diseases like irritable bowel syndrome, IBD. Antibiotics in big pharma, that's a big one. I have noted that if I come in with a symptom and they are not sure it's a cold or whatever it is, the doctor is quick to give me a wide spectrum antibiotic. Literally, what that means is it wipes out every kind of microbiota, everything. And it takes months to rebuild it again. So I have big problems with taking antibiotics, especially since they won't test for what it is, so they give you a wide spectrum to knock out everybody. So Big Pharma is giving lots and lots of antibiotics out, and they're creating antibiotic resistance even, because now you get kinds of microbiota who are resistant to that, and not necessarily good ones. So antibiotics, if you can find a way to do something more natural and more holistic instead, there are things. Colloidal silver, aloe vera, honey is an antibiotic. Okay, seed oils, specifically rapeseed. You'll never see a bottle in the store called rapeseed oil because they call it canola oil. That sounds prettier, doesn't it? Your microbiome is harmed by seed oils, so replace them with olive oil, butter, animal fats, or air frying. French fries from fast foods are the biggest culprit. But I also heard about a story of a woman who worked at KFC, and she would only give her son food from the restaurant on Mondays. And they said, why is that? And she goes, because the seed oil that they use in the fryers is a week old. It turns dark brown. It's pretty nasty, and I wait till they change it off with fresh oil. But it's still seed oils because corn oil and canola oil are the cheapest. So you need to look at the bottle. With the exception of sesame seeds or avocado, which I suppose you could call a seed, they're not going to be the ones that are causing the harm. Canola oil is a really big one. And you'll notice when you buy olive oil that they actually mix that in. It'll say olive oil, and then in tiny letters underneath it, with canola oil. And then you'll note that 80 or 90% of it is the canola oil, and it just, olive oil is coloring it, I guess. But they think they're reducing the flavor of the olive oil, and that's somehow beneficial, but it is a seed oil. It is not beneficial. It coats and kills the microbiota. PSFAs, microplastics. So replacing plastic items with glass, replacing coated cookware with steel pans, and also filtering and distilling your water. You will find plenty of videos about stuff in bottled water, microplastics floating in what was supposed to be pure bottled water. So I distill my water now because I don't trust our water supply. And well, I have a stovetop distiller. When the water is heating and floating to the top, I can see the microplastic floating in the water, which comes, we call that sink water. And I don't think it's safe to drink because there's a lot in the water, and that could be a whole nother video by itself. Aluminum, replace pots and pans with steel ones. And again, if you have those coated pans, the PSFAs are coming off of that. The plastics are going from those pans into your food. You're scraping them, and then you get the aluminum too, so it's a double whammy. Monsanto's Roundup. They use it as a desiccant to dry crops when they're being harvested. So you'll find it being sprayed all over the place on your foods. It's in oatmeal. A lot of it's not organic. Insecticides, bug sprays, fungicides. Your microbiome are the bugs and plants that are killed by those sprays. Wash your vegetables if they've been sprayed. In fact, soak them, because sometimes if you're getting store-bought vegetables, they can be coated with things that injure the microbiome. And peeling some things can help to get it off. Hand sanitizers are such a big culprit because if you imagine that your healthy microbiome is all over your body and then you're rubbing hand sanitizer all over it, what exactly are you trying to kill? I have used hand sanitizer once this year, and it's because I shook hands with a man who said that he had a cold. And if he's going to be snotting and rubbing his nose and it's on his hands, Then I did use hand sanitizer to get that off of me, and I took a nice distance away from him so that he couldn't breathe on me either. So the question is, if I were exposed to germs, because you are, and they're all around you anyway, the goal is I'm not going to have someone coughing on me on purpose, but is my microbiome robust enough to fight off those invaders if they come in? Okay, so your skin is an organ. The microbiome protects it. Hand sanitizers, avoid them if you can. Go back to soap and water. Refined white sugar and flour, refined products, are really hard on the microbiome in general and in your intestines because it's like they're glassy. They're refined particles. They're sharp. And so go back to things that are simpler ingredients, more handmade, less refined. Replace your sugar with stevia, honey, or molasses. Maple syrup is good too. Cut back on bread or switch to other grains besides wheat. You'll be doing yourself a favor. If you get any kind of package from a convenience store that has more than just the ingredients, if it says it is flour and honey and molasses and oats and raisins, okay, well that's simple ingredients, but the minute it says monosodium divox blah 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 blah, and you get into these words that are so long you can't even begin to pronounce them, put it back, because those kinds of things are disruptors and they ruin your microbiome. Growth hormones. Growth hormones are found in milk cows now. I think it's called RSBT. And you need to work on getting organic milk. Even if it says the cows are not treated with RSBT, it doesn't necessarily mean the milk is safe. You'll know because you'll get an allergic reaction like I am to milk now, and that tells me that there's something about those cows. I believe they're giving shots to the cows now. They're treating cows for bird diseases. Big Pharma has found new ways to sell medications to farmers. GMO crops. So the GMO crops are usually color-coded. In this case, it's white corn. Never saw white corn my entire childhood while I was growing up, but now there seems to be white corn. And so that means white tortillas too, and things that just look funky when you see them in the stores. Switch back to yellow corn, and if you can, get something that you know is organic so that you're not using GMO crops. Fake foods. Did you know that there are, I want to say, microbes that eat plastic? They break it down into vanillin, I kid you not, and vanillin is now in a lot of our foods, and it is plasticky. Those ice cream sandwiches you find in the Dollar Tree are filled with vanillin, and they don't melt because it's just a spongy kind of plastic, and it's inserted into our foods now. So long words of ingredients to include dyes, preservatives, chemicals, fake sugars, alcohol, and also, of course, we know that smoking and drugs are included in the no-nos because all of those harm your microbiome. The smoke gets all over your skin, and your microbiome's on the outside as well as on the inside. So as far as fake foods, look for vanillin. That's a big one to avoid. And of course, anything with really long ingredient labels. Those things are triggering and activating immune cells to fight infections when you wipe them out, and they can't trigger to fight off infections because you're wiping out your microbiome, and there's no defenders left to help you stay healthy. Then your body starts to get attacked by invaders. The gut cells are only one cell in thickness, and so they're supposed to be trading off between the microbiome and your bloodstream, and if that lining is damaged, you're looking at diseases like IBS, IBD, diverticulitis. Go back to the seed oils. Those are going to be big culprits there. And those hydrogenated oils, read the ingredient wrappers to see if there's hydrogenated oil in the stuff that you're using, because it should be natural oils. Coconut oil is fine too, but you need to avoid seed oils. Okay, so the microbiome is your immune system coordinating with immune cells in your bloodstream that are taking invaders away and creating health and longevity. So those little things that you're seeing, age spots, skin tags, graying, wrinkly, dry skin. Those things are suspect because they're telling you that your microbiome isn't functioning well to help keep your body healthy and your body starting to break down. Can this be reversed? Yes, it can. But in the case of seed oils, it can take a long time. If you Google that, sometimes it takes, you will see, as much as 2 years to get all that stuff back out of your system. And so we're not working on perfection here. There is stuff in our food supply and stuff in our water supply. And unfortunately, it's environmental. There's stuff around us. But what I gave you was an outline for ways to try and stay healthier and stay ahead of your game and try and help your microbiome to stay as healthy as it can so that it has the ability to help you fight off invaders and stay strong. Of course, there are probiotic foods that you can eat too, but that's probably a completely another topic because you want to feed good stuff to your microbiome. Your microbiome lives for a couple of days, and the food that you feed either kills off a microbiome or strengthens it. So when you're eating a diet of French fries and you're killing off your healthy microbiome, the invaders come in and replace it. If you switch back to healthy foods, you'll eventually rebuild the healthy microbiome, just like you'd have to rebuild it if you took antibiotics. It's not the end of the world, but it takes time. It can take as much as a couple of months, maybe even 6 months, to rebuild your microbiome. So have patience with your body while it's changing. But we are in a state of constant change, and trying to stay in a symbiotic relationship and not in dysbiosis is a game of constant exchange. We're constantly trying to eat better and stay away from toxins and stay away from environmental stuff, and especially packaged food with preservatives in it. Very dangerous. So I hope you have found something to create goals on, and I hope this video was helpful to you. Start writing down what you can do, small improvements that you can do to help you to build a stronger immune system, things that you can give up or trade off. It is a process to get away from white sugar. I have 95% at this point. There are foods that people hand me or places where we go where things that I eat already have sugar in them, and I can't ask for it to be taken back out. But I have managed to make pumpkin pie with just honey and molasses, and I have managed to get, I'd say, 95% of it out of my diet. And it's a good start, but it's constantly you're at war with the environment, right? And you're trying to strategize, try to maneuver around obstacles to give yourself as much health as you can. So cut yourself a break. This is hard to do. It's very hard to do, but we're doing it together. Okay, so please like, share, subscribe, and have a lovely day. Go eat something nutritious. You want to focus on meats, fruits, vegetables, real foods. All right, y'all take care, and I'll see you again.